Show. I'm Michael Voris here to tell you the download is back. I'll be on regularly with Christine Niles and Simon Rafe and a fourth special guest host from the CM crew. We're going to have in-depth discussions on the big news of the day and, of course, indispensable analysis from a Catholic perspective. So don't miss the download premiering on YouTube at 5 p.m. Eastern every weekday. God love you. Eternity is a giant, incredible concept we can't get our brains around because we have no experience of things just never changing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Michael Voris Show. I'm your host, Michael Voris. Just before we begin, just want to remind you that our annual Men's Strength and Honor Conference is happening right here in Detroit that first weekend in August. So please go on the website, click and sign up and come to that. We always have a couple 300 guys here, and it's a very good weekend, good way to do some good male bonding, understand our duty as men with the Catholic faith. So again, that's the first week of August. Please sign up. The Strength and Honor Conference, our annual due. Well, as you know, this is the fourth in four parts that we were doing that the church calls the eschaton, the four last things. First you die, then you are judged, then you go to hell or heaven. We've done death, judgment, and hell. Today, we're going to be talking about heaven. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever walked along a beach? You ever felt the, as the wave comes in and goes out and you feel like the sand in between your feet and just how tiny, just little bitty fine those little current grains of sand are? Well, let's presume for a moment that the entire world finally, after trillions, billions, whatever it is of years, is fine. That's all that's left. It's one big giant sphere, but it's all just those little bitty grains of sand. And let's say, for example, that a dove has to transport the entire globe to some other place in the galaxy. And it takes 1 million years to fly from Earth's current location to where it's going to take Earth. But it does it one grain of sand at a time. So it comes here, picks up one grain of sand, flies for 1 million years, deposits that, takes another 1 million years to get back here, picks up the second one, and does it again. Now, how many hundreds of trillions of years would it take for that to happen? The reason I give you that example is because one of the saints gave that example, that when the entire earth, hundreds and trillions, gazillion, jillions of grains of sand, having taken trillions and trillions of years to transport to another location of the galaxy, when all of that had happened, eternity has just begun. One of the things that we have a very difficult time here, because we're in time and space and we get older and things change and all of that, is understanding the concept of eternity, where nothing changes. There's no, the sun goes down, the sun comes up, there's nothing. Eternity is a giant, incredible concept we can't get our brains around because we have no experience of things just never changing. But that is the entire lot of the human race. Every human being will be in eternity. So let's talk about, we talked about all the horrors and terrors and everything of hell last week during Holy Week, was our blessed Lord went through his passion for, to preserve us from, to save us from. What he saved us for is heaven. And let's talk about heaven now. There are two, and we're talking about heaven not just dying now and going to heaven. We're talking about at the end of the world when last judgment has happened and we're there in our final complete stages. We humans are body and soul. We are a composite of both. And as such, as our Lord walked out of the tomb with his body, it wasn't a spiritual resurrection, it was a bodily resurrection. We too will have that. That's the last day. That's what our bodies and souls are reunited. We're judged, and then the damned are, sent to hell, and the elect are transported to heaven with their bodies. Little interesting question. So you could say, in one sense, like St. Francis and St. Dominic and St. Bernadette, they don't have their bodies with them right now. that isn't a detraction or a lessening of their the joy they're encountering in heaven right now at this very moment as we're speaking and you're watching this. They have the joy to the fullness, to the complete ability that they can enjoy it. When their bodies are reunited with them on the last day, that joy will increase immensely. Because we're body and soul, heaven has pleasures for both. So for the first part of this, we're going to talk about the pleasures of the body in heaven. Heaven is a place. It's not a place necessarily like hop in your car and drive to Tuscaloosa. It's a place, though, and it's defined by certain boundaries. It's composed of certain materials. We don't know what those are. But if a body is in a place, if a body is to relate to another body, then that must happen somewhere. There is a place. Heaven is a where. It is a physical place, not bound by the laws of this universe, but bound by the laws of the next. We don't know what those laws are. We don't know what heaven looks like exactly. There is a very interesting point to meditate on here about what is heaven like. When St. Thomas Aquinas was approaching the end of his life, he'd written so magnificently and so faithfully and so correctly that our blessed Lord appeared to him and said, "Thomas, you have written well of me, ask what you will." And Thomas said, he asked, what do you want? And Thomas's answer was, "Only you, Lord, only you." And in response to that answer, which is the answer, he was transported for just a moment to have a very tiny, brief glimpse of heaven. And when that vision, that apparition was over and that experience came to an end, he was done writing. He said, "Everything I have written, from what I just saw, everything I have written is like straw." The body enjoys pleasures in heaven. Thank you for watching The Michael Voris Show. If you'd like to watch the entire episode, please head over to churchmilton.com and sign up as a premium member. If you need to sign up to become a premium member, go to churchmilton.com/go premium.